The royal hall of the alien Empress was always silent at night, almost like a giant sleeping beast. Its tall golden walls, glowing blue floors, and floating lamps made it look beautiful, but also a little scary. Most humans never entered this place. And if they did, they entered only in the daytime. But tonight, a human janitor named Lien was working alone. He was a simple man with simple thoughts. He only wanted to finish his shift, clean the floors, and go home. But fate had different plans for him tonight. Lien pushed his cleaning cart slowly through the long passage. His shoes echoed softly on the smooth crystal floor. Everything felt too empty, too quiet, too cold. He stopped for a moment and rubbed his arms. The air felt strange, like something was watching him. Then he heard it. A sound, a very soft sound. A help. No. Don't leave. Liam froze. His heart jumped. He looked around. No guards were nearby. No workers. No aliens. Nothing. The royal hall was supposed to be empty at this hour. Then he heard the sound again. This time it was clearer. Two small voices, cry-like voices. Liam swallowed hard. "Hello," he whispered. His own voice sounded too loud in the big hall. He walked forward slowly, following the sound. His hands shook a little, but he kept going. The lights above flickered for a moment, making the whole hall look alive. At the end of the hall, two huge golden doors stood slightly open. Liam had cleaned this area before, but the doors were never open at night. They usually stayed locked, guarded, and heavily protected, but tonight, the doors were open just enough for a human to slip through. More cries came from inside. Liam's chest tightened. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. But he couldn't ignore the sound. He took a deep breath and gently pushed the door wider. What he saw inside made him stop breathing. Two small alien girls, twins, sat on the floor, hugging each other tightly. Their skin glowed faint purple, their eyes bright silver like small moons. They were shaking hard, whispering frightened words, and crying into each other's shoulders. These were not normal alien children. These were the royal twins, the daughters of the Empress. Liam had seen them in pictures. Everyone in the palace knew who they were. The most precious beings in the empire. Protected day and night. Loved, respected, feared. So why were they alone? Why were they afraid? And why could only he hear their cries? Liam stepped forward slowly. Are you two okay?" he asked softly. The twins lifted their heads at the same time. Their big silver eyes were full of tears. When they saw him, they didn't scream. They didn't hide. They didn't run. Instead, they crawled straight toward him. Liam backed up in shock. "Whoa, hey, wait." But the twins reached him and wrapped their small arms tightly around his leg. Their tiny fingers dug into his uniform. Their bodies trembled like they were freezing. One of the twins whispered, "Don't go." The other said, "Please. Stay, the dark is scary." Liam blinked. His heart raced. He had no training for this. He was just a janitor. He didn't know what to do with alien royalty clinging to him like scared kittens. He knelt down slowly. Hey. It's okay. I'm here. I won't go." The twins looked up at him with huge shining eyes. Their faces were soft and frightened. One of them pressed her forehead against his chest. The other grabbed his hand tightly. Then the floor vibrated. A warning alarm beeped from the walls. Blue lights turned red. Someone had triggered a security alert. Footsteps echoed from outside the hall. Many footsteps. Heavy, fast, and angry. Liam's heartbeat jumped. Guards. Dozens of them. And he knew exactly what they would think when they saw this scene. A human. Touching the royal twins. Royal twins. Holding a human. A forbidden moment. He tried to pull back gently. "You two need to let go. The guards are coming." This will look bad. But the twins held him tighter. Much tighter. Like their lives depended on it. The golden doors suddenly burst open. Dozens of guards rushed inside with glowing weapons raised, their eyes widened in shock, and the twins terrified by the sudden noise hid behind Liam. Clinging to his back and burying their faces into his shirt, Liam raised his hand slowly. Heart pounding. The guards shouted, "What is the human doing here? Step away from the princesses. Move now." But Liam couldn't move, because the twins refused to let him go, and behind the angry guards, a shadow entered the hall. Tall, powerful, silent. The Empress herself. Her voice cut the air like a blade. "Explain. Why my daughters are holding a human." The royal hall was no longer silent. It was filled with tension so thick that even the floating lamps seemed to hold their breath. The guards stood frozen. Their glowing weapons pointed straight at Liam. Their armor lights flashed red, signaling high threat level. It didn't matter that Liam was only a janitor. Royal protocol was strict. No human could be near the royal twins without permission. But the impossible was happening right before their eyes. The alien twins' heirs to the Empress were clinging to the human's uniform, hiding behind him like frightened children, hiding behind their father. The guards didn't know what to do. Liam felt their hands digging into his shirt. Their small bodies trembled behind him. One of the twins whispered, "Don't let them take us." His throat tightened. "I won't," he whispered back before he could think. Then the heavy footsteps stopped. Everyone dropped to their knees. As the tall shadow stepped forward, the Empress. Her long royal cloak floated behind her like dark wings. Her silver eyes, cold and powerful, moved from Liam to the twins, then back to Liam. She said nothing for a moment. That silence felt heavier than any scream. Finally, she spoke. "Move away from my daughters." Her voice was soft, but dangerous. Liam raised both hands slowly. "Your Majesty." "I didn't, they just..." But the twins suddenly tightened their grip on him. "No." The elder twin cried, her voice shaking. He helped us." The younger twin added. The guards gasped. The Empress narrowed her eyes. "Helped?" She repeated. Liam felt sweat roll down his neck. He tried to speak carefully. "Your Majesty," I heard them crying. The doors were open. I only wanted to check if they were okay." The Empress tilted her head slightly. Her eyes held the kind of silence that made a man feel naked inside. "The doors," she said, "are not supposed to open." A guard quickly added, "We checked, Your Highness. The locks were not broken. They simply activated on their own." The Empress's gaze sharpened. Something about that information disturbed her, but her attention returned to the twins, still gripping Liam like he was their anchor in a storm. "Why?" she asked slowly. "Are you two holding this human?" The hall went completely silent. The twins looked at each other, then back at their mother. The elder twin spoke first, voice soft as a whisper. "Because he makes the dark feel less scary." The younger one added, his voice, "It stopped the cold." Liam blinked. He had no idea what they were talking about. But the Empress did. Her eyes widened for the first time. She stepped closer, examining Liam like he was an unsolved puzzle. "Human," she said. "What did you say to them?" Liam swallowed. I just told them I'm here. That I won't leave. I was only trying to calm them." The Empress stared. "You calmed them?" "No alien healer has done this in months." The guards exchanged worried glances. A few whispered among themselves. Liam could feel the twins leaning against him, breathing quietly, holding on like he was their only safety. Their trust confused him. It confused the guards. But it terrified the Empress. She stepped closer, now only 1 foot away from Liam. "Human," she said. "Step forward." Liam hesitated. The twins clung harder. He gently touched their heads. "It's okay," he whispered to them. "I'll be right here." They slowly loosened their grip, trembling. But trusting him, he stepped forward. The Empress circled him like a hawk studying a strange animal. "You are not trained in alien psychology." "No." "Ma'am, you are not educated in storm medicine." "No." "Ma'am, you are not bonded to my daughters in any way." "No." "Ma'am, then explain," she hissed quietly. "Why they ran to you." Liam opened his mouth, then closed it. He had no answer. He was just a man with a mop. A poor human janitor in a palace of powerful aliens. He had no special skills, no powers, nothing unique. But the twins trusted him more than their own royal guards. The Empress took a long breath. For a moment, her expression softened. Then she gave a single order. "Bring him." "And bring the twins." The guards looked confused, but they obeyed. Liam looked at the Empress nervously. "Bring me where?" She didn't answer. Instead, she turned and walked toward the glowing corridor that led to the deepest chamber of the palace, the place no human had ever been allowed to enter. Before leaving the hall, she said in her calm, deadly voice, "You want to know why the twins held you, human? Then follow me and learn why my daughters fear the night." The twins grabbed Liam's hands again, and together they followed the Empress into the darkness. The deeper Liam walked into the palace, the colder the air became. Not normal cold. A strange, sharp cold that felt like someone was breathing icy wind on his neck. He held the twins' small hands tightly. They stayed behind him, their glowing silver eyes darting around with fear. Their steps were tiny, careful, and nervous. Even their breaths sounded like whispers in a haunted cave. And in front of them walked the Empress, tall, proud, powerful. Every step she took echoed through the long corridor like a warning dot. No guard followed. No servant dared enter. This path was meant only for royal blood. Yet tonight, a simple human janitor walked on it. Liam knew he should feel honored. Instead, he felt like he was walking straight into a nightmare. The Empress stopped at a massive dark door made of black crystal. Strange patterns glowed on it like sleeping stars. Liam felt a strange vibration coming from it. "This room," she said without turning, "is where my daughters should sleep. But they haven't slept here for many nights." The twins pressed closer to Liam. He felt their small fingers shake. The Empress placed her hand on the door. It obeyed her touch, sliding open with a deep rumbling sound that sent chills down. Liam's spine. Inside was a beautiful royal chamber, yet the air felt wrong. The lights flickered softly. The walls hummed with unseen energy. The shadows moved too slowly, like they were alive. Liam whispered, "What is this place?" The Empress finally looked back at him. "This," she said, "is where the trouble begins every night." The twins hid behind Liam again. The Empress's eyes narrowed. "Girls, come forward." They didn't move. They clung to Liam's shirt instead. The Empress inhaled sharply, her patience thinning. "You are princesses. You obey your mother." Still, they didn't step forward. Instead, the younger one whispered, "No. Too cold." The older one added, "It hurts in here." Liam looked around. He didn't feel physical pain, but the air was heavy like invisible pressure pushing on his chest. "What hurts them?" Liam asked quietly. The Empress slowly answered, "A nightly storm. Not outside. Not in the sky. In the air itself." Liam frowned. "A storm? Inside the palace?" "No," she replied. "Inside their minds." Before Liam could ask again, a trembling sound filled the room like distant thunder, but sharper, thinner. Almost like a crying metal dot, the twins gasped and grabbed Liam's arms. He knelt down quickly. Hey, it's okay, I've got you." The younger twin squeezed her eyes shut. "Make it stop." Liam looked at the Empress. "Can't you hear this?" The Empress shook her head slowly. "Only the twins can hear it. Their minds are sensitive. Too sensitive, even for royal blood." She stepped closer to him, her eyes narrowing. "Yet somehow, when you are near, the storm lessens." Liam felt his stomach twist. "Me? Why me?" "I'm just a janitor," the Empress cut him off sharply. "You are something more, or you would not be here." Liam couldn't answer. He didn't even understand what she meant. The strange storm sound grew louder, again like ghostly wind echoing through metal tunnels. The twins whimpered without thinking. Liam wrapped an arm around each of them. "It's okay," he whispered. "You're not alone." The humming in the walls softened. The flickering light steadied. The twins' breaths calmed. The Empress saw at her. Eyes widened just a little. That single moment said everything. The human could do what alien healers could not. The Empress stepped closer, her voice lower than before. "You calmed them again." With no training, no knowledge of alien storms, no understanding of their minds. Her silver eyes locked onto his. "Why?" "I don't know," Liam said honestly. "I just talked to them." "Many talked," she replied coldly. "None worked." "But I didn't talk like a healer," Liam said softly. "I talked like someone who cared." The Empress went silent, for a ruler known for her icy heart. That word cared cut deeper than any blade. She turned slightly away from him, staring at the dark wall. "When their father died," she said quietly, "the storms began. Every night, the echoes get stronger. Every night, they are afraid. I tried everything, but they trust no one. Not even me, only." She slowly turned her head. "Only you." Liam felt the twins holding his arms tightly, as if agreeing. Then boom, the chamber shook violently. The humming turned into full roaring tones, loud, painful, angry. The twins screamed and buried their faces into Liam's chest. The Empress extended her hand, trying to approach them, but the twins screamed louder. "No! Stay away! Don't take him!" Liam held them tighter. The Empress froze, jaw clenched, a deep pain in her eyes, but she didn't force them. Instead, she whispered, voice breaking for the first time, "Then human, teach me how to save my daughters." To be continued. The storm inside the chamber finally softened, like a distant growl fading back into the walls. The twins still trembled in Liam's arms, their small glowing fingers gripping his uniform as if it were their only safety. The Empress stood a few steps away, her tall figure now still, almost frozen. She was a ruler who commanded armies, a woman feared across galaxies. Yet at this moment, she looked strangely helpless. Her daughters wouldn't go near her, but they clung to a human janitor with all their strength. Liam gently stroked the back of the younger twin's head. "You're safe. I promise. I'm here." As he whispered these simple words, the chamber lights steadied again. The storm inside the walls quieted to a soft hum, almost like it was listening. The Empress watched him closely. "You did it again," she said quietly. Liam looked up, confused. "Did what?" "You silenced the storm." He shook his head. "I didn't silence anything. I just comforted them." The Empress stepped closer, her silver eyes intense. "That is exactly what none of my healers could do." She raised her hand, and the door behind her sealed shut on its own. The chamber was now locked with only Liam, the twins, and the Empress inside. "Human," she said. "You want answers?" Liam nodded slowly. "Then listen." She walked to the far wall and touched a dark panel. A hologram burst to life, blue, bright, and full of moving energy. It showed swirling patterns, shapes, storms forming inside the brain of an alien child. "This," she said, "is the curse." Liam frowned. "A curse?" She nodded. "Our twins were born with a rare condition. They hear something the rest of us cannot, the echo storm. The twins pressed closer to him. He felt their fear. Every night, the Empress continued, the storm grows stronger. It invades their minds, fills their heads with cold noise, and keeps them awake for hours. The older twin whispered, "It hurts." Inside, the Empress's voice softened for a moment. "I know, my little stars." But the twins didn't look at her. They only held Liam tighter. The Empress's jaw tightened, but she continued explaining. "We tried everything. We used medicine, energy dampeners, mind shield devices, even ancient rituals. Nothing worked." Liam asked softly, "What about comfort? What about being with them?" The Empress turned sharply toward him. "Comfort does not stop the storm. You saw what happens when I touch them." Liam remembered. When she stepped toward them, the storm roared louder. The twins screamed in panic. He lowered his voice. "Because they're scared of the place. The storm. Maybe even scared of you reacting with the storm energy." The Empress stiffened. "I do not cause the storm." "No," Liam said gently. "But maybe your presence makes it stronger. Because you're also stressed. You're worried. You're hurting too." For the first time, the Empress's face cracked, just a little, a hint of pain. A hint of truth. "My daughters need me," she whispered. "But they fear the storm more than they trust me." Liam looked down at the two small girls clinging to him. He understood them a little now. Not the alien part, but the child part. Children feared what felt dark and loud. They went toward what felt warm. "Why do they trust me?" he asked quietly. The Empress stared at him. "I asked myself the same." She motioned to the hologram again. With a wave of her hand, it shifted to show something else, a human brain, calm, quiet, balanced. "Human minds produce a different kind of energy," she said. "Stable, warm, peaceful, the opposite of the storm." Liam blinked. "So my presence cancels it." "Not cancels," she corrected. "Soothes." The younger twin whispered, "You make the noise go away." The older added, "Your voice feels warm." Liam felt a lump rise in his throat. He never imagined two alien children would see him as a safe place. The Empress stepped closer, but slow this time. Not as a queen. More like a mother trying not to break something delicate. Human. "You didn't only calm them." Her voice grew heavy. "You gave them something they lost." "What?" "Peace." The chamber suddenly trembled again. A soft rumble. The beginning of another storm wave. The twins whimpered and clung to him again. Liam quickly moved his arms around them. "Hey, I'm here. I won't leave." The storm softened. The Empress watched, stunned, helpless, humbled, and almost defeated. She finally spoke the words she never thought she would say. "Human. Will you help me save my daughters?" Liam looked at the trembling twins in his arms, then looked at the Empress's desperate, silent eyes. "Yes," he said. "I'll help." To be continued. The walls trembled again. A low humming sound, like a distant scream swallowed by wind, filled the royal sleep chamber. The storm inside the twins' minds was waking up again, stronger than earlier. Liam felt the vibrations through the floor. The twins felt it even more. They grabbed his arms tightly, their silver eyes wide with fear. Their glowing skin flickered unevenly, as if something inside them was twisting. The Empress stood a few steps away, her face tense. "The storm cycle is early tonight," she said. "It usually starts later. Something is changing." Liam didn't understand storms, cycles, or alien conditions. But he understood children who were scared. He knelt down, pulling both twins closer. "Hey, look at me." Deep breaths. "I'm right here." The twins clung to his chest. The younger one's voice was barely a whisper. "It's sharp. The noise is sharp." The older one added, It pricks. Like needles. Liam gently held their small hands. I won't let anything hurt you. You're safe. You're not alone. The humming grew louder. The lights flickered. The air felt colder, like a storm of ice forming in the room. The Empress took a step back. Human, prepare yourself. When the storm peaks, even I cannot enter the chamber without causing more pain to them. Liam nodded, but he didn't back away. He didn't even stand. He stayed right there with the twins, knowing they needed him more than anything. He whispered slowly, letting his voice stay steady, warm, soft. It's okay. I'm here. Just breathe. The storm entered its first spike. A sharp ringing sound blasted through the air. Liam couldn't hear it fully, but he felt the pressure. The twins heard everything. They screamed and buried their faces against him. Liam wrapped his arms around them, pulling them into a secure embrace. He felt their small bodies shaking like leaves in a harsh wind. I know, he whispered. Hold on to me. Don't listen to the storm. Listen to me instead. He placed one hand on the older twin's back, the other on the younger twin's head. Slowly, he began humming a simple tune, something his mother once used when he was a frightened child. The twins froze. Then slowly, their breathing changed, shaky, uneven, but following his rhythm. The storm reacted. The humming inside the walls softened for a second. The flickering lights steadied for 2 seconds. Then steadied again. The Empress stared, disbelief spreading across her face like a crack in ice. You're stabilizing the storm. With sound? With comfort? She whispered, but Liam wasn't thinking about scientific explanations. He was thinking about the 2 small girls sobbing into his chest. It's okay, he whispered again. I've got you. You're okay. The storm hit its second spike. A wave of cold wind blasted across the room, strong enough to push Liam slightly back. But he didn't loosen his grip. The twins cried again, squeezing their eyes shut. This time, Liam didn't speak. He placed his forehead gently against theirs. A soft human warmth. The twins gasped, and suddenly the storm dulled. Not stopped, but weakened. Like a wave losing power before hitting the shore. The Empress covered her mouth with her hand. That warmth. She whispered. That's what the storm cannot break. A third spike surged through the chamber, this one the strongest. The lights turned completely white. The walls vibrated hard. The storm roared with painful intensity. The twins screamed. Make it stop. It hurts. It hurts. Liam's heart clenched. He held them tighter, his voice trembling but determined. It won't beat you. It won't. I'm right here. I'm holding you. He hugged them closer, almost shielding their tiny bodies with his own. And then, the unimaginable happened. Their glowing skin brightened. Their trembling softened. Their breaths calmed. The storm stuttered like a broken machine, roared. Then fell silent. The Empress stepped forward, shocked beyond words. She stared at her daughters, peacefully pressed against the human's chest. Their eyes closed, their tiny hands holding his uniform. They were sleeping. Sleeping for the first time in months. A tear fell from the Empress's eye. Something no one alive had ever seen. She whispered, impossible. Liam gently brushed the twins' hair as their breathing slowed into soft, steady rhythms. The Empress walked closer, careful not to disturb the fragile peace. Human, she whispered, her voice wavering. You touched their minds in a way we never could. Liam looked up, tired, breathless, but relieved. They just needed someone. A human, the Empress said. Not a healer. Not a guard. Not their own mother. Pain crossed her face for a moment. Liam nodded softly. Children don't always need power. Just comfort. The Empress lowered her head, a bow, small but real. You have given them sleep, she whispered. You have given me hope I thought lost. Just then, Liam's vision blurred. His body felt heavy. He collapsed to the floor. Still holding the twins gently. The Empress rushed toward him. "Human!" she shouted. "Guards, healers!" But Liam couldn't hear her. The world grew dark. His last thought was of the two small girls sleeping peacefully, finally free from the storm. To be continued. Liam woke slowly. For a moment he felt weightless, almost floating. Then the world returned piece by piece. Soft golden lights, quiet humming machines, a warm blanket over his body. He blinked several times. He wasn't in the royal hall. He wasn't in the storm chamber. He was lying on a comfortable bed inside a healing room. His body felt drained, like someone had taken all his energy and left only the shell. His head throbbed lightly. His arms felt heavy. But he remembered one thing clearly: the twins. Asleep, safe, peaceful. He sat up quickly, ignoring the dizziness. And that's when he saw her. The Empress was sitting beside his bed, not standing tall, not walking with royal pride, not hiding behind guards. She was sitting alone, hands folded, her cloak placed on a chair behind her. For the first time since Liam met her, she didn't look like a goddess of power. She looked like a worried mother. "You woke," she said softly. Liam rubbed his eyes. Where are the twins? Are they okay?" The Empress nodded. "They are asleep. Truly asleep. For 7 hours now." Liam felt relief wash over him. "Good. That's good." The Empress studied his tired face for a long moment. "You collapsed," she said. "Your body broke under the storm's energy. Humans are not built to absorb it." Liam nodded slowly. "It felt like something cold was inside me." "You were protecting them," the Empress said, voice low. "Your mind created a shield the storm could not break. But the storm pushed back. You paid the price." Liam looked down at his hands. "They needed me." The Empress leaned slightly forward. "Do you understand what you did?" "I just helped them sleep," he said simply. "No," she whispered. "You did what no one in this entire empire could do. You gave my daughters peace." Liam didn't know what to say. He felt embarrassed, confused, and strangely humble. But then he noticed something else. The Empress's hands were shaking, just barely. "But shaking, Your Majesty?" he whispered. Are you all right?" She didn't answer immediately. She looked away, her voice strained. "I am a ruler of 1,000 worlds," she said. "I have seen wars, storms, and death. But nothing has frightened me more than watching my children cry every night, knowing I could not take their pain." Her voice cracked softly, just once. Liam had never seen such vulnerability. The Empress inhaled deeply, regaining her composure. "Human, Liam, you have changed something inside my palace, inside my heart, and perhaps inside the future of my daughters." Liam swallowed carefully. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." "You did not cause trouble," she interrupted. "You brought hope." She stood slowly and walked to the window. Outside, the palace city glowed with blue lights. Airships floated silently in the distance. Without turning, the Empress spoke again. "I have made a decision." Liam's stomach tightened. He feared what might come next. "You will no longer be a janitor." He blinked. "You will no longer clean floors. You will no longer work in shadows. You will no longer be treated as low-ranked human labor." Liam whispered, "Then, what am I?" The Empress turned. Her eyes, silver and powerful, met his. "You are now the royal guardian of the twins." Liam's breath caught. "What?" No, I can't, Your Majesty. I'm not trained. I'm not special." "You are exactly what they need," the Empress replied. "Someone calm. Someone kind. Someone they trust." "But I'm just a janitor." "You are not just anything," she said sharply. "You are the only reason my daughters slept." Liam felt overwhelmed. He never wanted honors or titles. He only wanted to help 2 children who were scared. The Empress stepped closer. "This is not a request," she said softly. "This is my plea, Liam, as a mother, not as an Empress." Liam looked away, unsure. Then the door swung open. 2 small glowing figures ran inside. "Liam, you're awake." The twins rushed to his bed and climbed onto it, hugging him tightly. Their silver eyes sparkled with joy and relief. The Empress watched quietly. The older twin whispered, "We slept. Because of you." The younger one added, "Don't go away. Please don't leave us." Liam's heart cracked. He looked from the children to the Empress, to the healing room. He knew the truth. He couldn't walk away from them now. Not after what he saw. Not after what they felt. He took a deep breath. "Okay," he said softly. "I'll stay." The twins cheered and hugged him again, their smiles glowing like little moons. For a moment, the Empress closed her eyes, relief washing over her like soft rain, but the peace didn't last long. Distant rumble shook the palace walls. The Empress's eyes snapped open. "That sound. That's not the storm." Liam frowned. "Then what is it?" The Empress turned toward the door, her face suddenly sharp. "A new threat," she whispered. "And it is coming for my daughters." The palace shook again. This time, the rumble was deeper, like something huge crawling across the outer walls. The Empress immediately stepped in front of the twins, her cloak spreading like dark wings. "Stay behind me," she ordered sharply. But the twins didn't run to her. They grabbed Liam's arms instead. "Is it the storm again?" The older twin whispered. Liam shook his head. "No. This feels different. Heavy." The Empress narrowed her eyes as the lights flickered. "Not with storm energy this time, but with something darker, something foreign. It is not the echo storm," she said slowly. "This sound comes from outside the palace, a threat that dares approach my daughters." Another rumble shook the healing room. This time, dust drifted from the ceiling. A distant alarm began to ring across the palace floors. Liam stood to his feet, still weak but determined. "Your Majesty, what do we do?" The Empress walked to the center of the room, her aura glowing brighter. "We protect the twins." The younger twin clung to Liam's leg. "Don't leave us." He knelt down and held both girls' hands. "I'm not going anywhere." At that moment, boom! The entire palace shook as something slammed into one of the outer walls. Guards' voices echoed through the halls. "Breach in the southern wing. Protect the princesses. Move, move." The Empress turned toward the door. "They are here sooner than expected." "Who?" Liam asked. She looked at him with cold, burning eyes. "An enemy who wants my daughter's power." Liam felt a chill climb up his spine. "Power?" The Empress nodded. "The echo storm is not just a curse. It is a rare gift. Something ancient. Something dangerous. There are those who want to use it." The twins trembled. Another explosion shook the palace. Liam wrapped an arm around the twins. "What do they want with them?" The Empress's voice turned icy. "To turn them into weapons." Liam's stomach twisted. He held the girls tighter as their small hands clutched his shirt. "We can't let that happen," he whispered fiercely. The Empress nodded. "We won't." The door burst open. A royal guard rushed in, panting. "Your Majesty." They broke through 2 layers of shields. "They are heading for the inner chambers." The Empress's eyes burned with fury. "Evacuate the twins, immediately." But the twins stepped backward, pressing against Liam's legs. "No. We stay with Liam." The guard froze, confused. The Empress inhaled slowly. "Then Liam goes with them." Liam blinked. "Me? I'm not a soldier." "You are something far more important tonight," she interrupted. "You are the one they trust." Before Liam could respond, the walls shook violently again. A crack spread across the upper corner. The lights flickered dangerously. The Empress raised her voice. "Follow me, now." She led them through a hidden door behind the healing chamber. A narrow passage opened, glowing from the floor lights. The twins ran beside Liam, holding his hands tightly. Their small footsteps echoed quickly as the palace thundered with distant explosions. The Empress walked fast, her cloak billowing behind her like a storm of shadows. Suddenly, they turned a corner and found themselves facing a massive window. Outside, the sky was dark with smoke. Strange ships hovered above the palace, firing blasts of red energy at the walls. Liam stared in shock. "They're invading." "They are desperate," the Empress said. "And desperate enemies are the most dangerous." Before she could take another step, a blast hit the window. The glass vibrated violently. The twins screamed and hugged Liam. The Empress turned quickly. "Get them to the inner vault." The guard opened another hidden door. Liam ran inside with the twins. The Empress followed last. The inner vault was a round chamber filled with bright blue crystals. They glowed softly, almost singing. The twins cried, "Liam, don't let them take us." He knelt and pulled them into his arms. "Nobody is taking you. Not while I'm here." His voice was steady, stronger than he ever heard himself sound. The Empress looked at him with something new in her eyes, respect, gratitude, and hope. She placed her hand on his shoulder. "Human, Liam. Thank you." Another explosion hit somewhere close. The vault trembled. The Empress stood in front of the door, ready to fight anyone who entered. But something unexpected happened. The crystals around the twins began to glow, brighter, responding to their fear. Liam realized what he needed to do. He sat with them, pulled them close, and whispered, "Breathe. I'm here. You're safe." Slowly, the crystals dimmed again. The girls calmed, and the storm inside them stayed silent. The Empress watched this miracle unfold. Stunned, she whispered, "You are their shield, their peace, their guardian." Then the palace alarms changed tone. The enemy forces were retreating. The royal army had arrived in full force. The worst was over. Minutes later, guards rushed in to report, "Your Majesty, the threat is gone." The invaders fled. The Empress closed her eyes in relief. Then she looked at Liam, not as a ruler, not as a commander, but as a mother whose children were saved. She bowed her head, a full bow to a human. "Liam of Earth," she said softly, "from tonight on, you are not just a guardian. You are family." Liam felt the twins hug him again, their glowing faces full of love and trust. And the Empress spoke the final words that changed his life forever. "You saved my daughters. Now the galaxy will remember your name." The end.